So just got to understand momentum. In a game, like two different styles of play, it all matters. So there's a turnover where me and Clay had a little miscommunication in transition, and then the barrage of whistles and all that stuff changed the momentum quickly. That was really the point where they felt like they got life, and they finished off the quarter strong, and it carried over into the second half. So we gotta respond.
Steph, parts of this game were very similar to game one, and you guys adjusted obviously beautifully. Is each game just its own separate entity, and we can't draw any conclusions from one game to the next about momentum or tendencies?
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of the nature of a playoff series, especially because of how drastically different we play. So, yeah, we'll respond. We've got a lot of confidence in our ability to do that, and that's why you play the game.
How different was it for you when you have Reeves picking you up to start? Obviously, Vanderbilt's kind of freelancing maybe a little bit. Did that take an adjustment? Was that a little bit of a wrinkle that took a while to figure out?
Yes and no. Like, it was obviously different from game two, more similar to how they tried in game one. But I knew that they were not going to trap and let us play 4-on-3 on the back side. We got to a little bit of it, but they're long and athletic behind the play, and that's their strong suit, to try to protect the paint. And for us, we obviously gotta shoot the ball better as a team, as a whole. Create better looks by moving the ball, but it's more just a connecting the game issue for us. It's always been like we had things rolling in the first half, and as soon as the game turned in the middle of the second quarter, play right into their hands. So I'm not really worried about the adjustments, more so than just connecting the entire game.
Hey, Steph, whether it's calls that stop the momentum of a game or you guys not getting calls you'd like, what can you guys draw from the team's obvious experience to navigate through those things?
Just remain confident who we are and how we play, and not get distracted by stuff that you can't control. As much as it's frustrating, that's the test that every team has to go through throughout a series, is blocking out all that type of stuff as much as you can. We obviously know who we are and what we're capable of, and all the things we always say after a loss, and excited to get back out there on Monday.
You mentioned that pass to Clay. You turned around and you did not look happy, either with yourself or whatever, just like miscommunication. You just thought he was going to cut in there, and what was going through your mind when you stop and you literally, you look?
It's obviously my fault because I threw the pass, but it's one of those plays where you're making a read for somebody else. It's like Cardinal sends a point guard, making a read when you're not on the same page. I know he would say if he turned around and looked, he might have had a layup, but I threw the pass, so it's one of those bang-bang kind of plays. I was frustrated in the fact that I threw it because I saw the whole thing, from start to finish. But, it's just a momentum play.
I know you guys have talked about not waiting to get behind or down to kind of find that next level. But how familiar is it in this place that you're in where you essentially facing a must-win?
I mean, how many series have we been in since it started? You find yourself in a lot of different scenarios, so you can draw back on pretty much anything, and that is one of the scenarios we've been in and we've responded. So that's why you sit up here with a lot of confidence that we can do what we need to do to win Game 4. So at the end of the day, you just got to go do it. Like, that's the beauty of a series, and having an opportunity to throw this one in the garbage and move on. and that's the challenge too. Like we have to be able to again just focus on the things that we need to combat, what they're doing, and get the game at our pace and our speed. We've shown we can do it. We gotta do it.
Steve Kerr and his team down 2-1 to the Los Angeles Lakers after a 30-point loss in Game 3.
Steve, what do you think happened offensively with you guys in the second and third quarters? It just didn't seem like there was a lot of spacing. Did you think things were going well, or was the shots just not going on? What did you think went on there?
We had a lot of turnovers in the second quarter. When we lost that lead, I think we were up 11. We started turning it over and then taking quick shots, and that fed into their transition and their ability to get to the foul line. So I thought that's when the game changed.
They mentioned after Game 6 of the last series that didn't like the energy of it. Did you like to see the energy in this game?
No, I mean that point from in the mid-second quarter, we had control of the game. We were in pretty good shape, and that's when we lost our poise. I think we might have had 4 technicals in the first half, and 12 turnovers at halftime. So you're on the road. You're going against a great team, a great defensive team in particular, and the crowd is going to be into it. Got to be more poised than we were.
What makes it difficult sometimes to regain that poise? Because there have been times throughout the seasons, really, you guys will go down, but muster up enough to get back into it. So why was it harder to regain the poise tonight?
The tough environment. I mean, you're on the road in a playoff game. It's easier in the regular season to respond to a tough stretch. Everything is magnified in the playoffs, and a bad stretch can turn into a longer stretch. Against a team like the Lakers that has been playing well and is very good defensively and obviously has some great players. So we kind of, I thought, let our foot off the gas, and Lakers took advantage of it, and they were great. They dominated the game.
They put Reeves on Steph. Did that kind of scramble things at all, or was it just a tough shooting and turnover night for Steph generally?
Just a tough night for everybody, really. I mean, we had 25 assists and 19 turnovers. Those aren't good numbers for us. Those 19 turnovers turned into 27 points. They shot 20 more free throws than we did. So you put all those numbers together. This was a Laker game. Dominating from the foul line and getting out in transition based on us not having good offensive possession. So they controlled it.
Clay specifically, I think, had 6 turnovers. Did you think he was rushing things? Did you think?
Yeah, I thought all of our guys were in a little bit of a rush. They're trying hard to make plays, and we just got out of sorts, out of rhythm.
Steve, what was the locker room like after the game? Is this one of those where everyone just kind of gives each other space, or was there a message from someone involved, and what was it?
Nope, just everybody's obviously down, and we just lost by 30 in a playoff game, so nobody's happy.
Steve, are you worried that some of those same pitfalls from Game 1 popped up in Game 3 again after you just saw them, after you just made the adjustments? Do you want to see if you can equalize the seesaw between games?
I'm very confident in our team and our ability to bounce back.
Steve, what was the perspective you had on the 2 challenge calls on Draymond? The one, the first one that the Lakers had, and then the one that you guys had.
I didn't see any replays of either, so I rely on the guys behind our bench and to determine whether we should challenge. And there's a lot that goes into that. But given that when we challenged, I think it was Draymond's 4th foul, if I'm not mistaken. So block charges are tough to get overturned generally.